Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on this episode of Sonar Fishing, let's talk about the lowly single Colorado blade spinnerbait. Now, this is a blade setup, or we'll call it a combination because I inevitably am going to call it that. But this is a blade combination that I don't think gets as much love as the other types, which are generally double willow leaf or a Colorado and willow leaf combination. Those are kind of the two main powerhouses when it comes to spinnerbait choices. But having a single blade, especially a Colorado blade like this one, does have its place in your tackle box, and it definitely excels in certain situations. So we're going to talk about those situations. And of course, these are all just my opinions from my own experience with this type of setup. And so I've got a little anecdotal story for you to kind of discuss my love for this combination here. Because I didn't always like the single Colorado blade spinnerbait. Okay, I don't know if I ever caught a fish on this setup until 2019, when I was fishing my rookie season on the FLW tour. We went to Grand Lake in Oklahoma. Awesome fishery, but it was very, very tough. The water was cold. The bait fish and all the fish seemed to be at like a 10-foot range. It was crazy. You'd look at it on your sonar, and there would just be this blanket, this layer of fish and bait fish and just biomass at that 10-foot zone, and only that 10-foot zone. And so you had 45-degree banks, the water was dirty, the water was cold, all these things kind of working against you. And that first day I had done some research, and I saw that a single Colorado blade spinnerbait was a real big player on Grand Lake and lakes around the area. So I fished it. And for the first time, I just started crushing fish on this blade combo. And I ended up crushing them throughout practice and the tournament. Well, I say practice. The first day of practice I did well. The other 2 days of practice I didn't even get a single bite. But that was all over the rest of the lake, not throwing this spinnerbait. So during the tournament, this is what I leaned on, and I ended up getting a third place finish and missed losing the event by 1.5 pounds. But I ended up catching some giants, like an 8-pounder, and then one on the final day that was like 6.5 pounds. It was ridiculous. It was a lot of fun. But essentially, what I found out and what I realized after that tournament is that this single-bladed spinnerbait excels in a very... It's kind of a narrow range of conditions, but when you have dirty water, the mix of dirty water, kind of steeper banks, or when you're trying to get a bait down to kind of slightly deeper structure or cover, like brush piles or something like that offshore, and you want something that just slowly creeps but also has a lot of vibration, this blade combination works really, really good. So at Grand Lake, the reason why it works so well is, again, those fish were at that 10-foot range. You have those 45-degree banks. Now, I couldn't fish a crankbait very well because there was just so much debris. There was so much leaves and all that kind of stuff. And also it was very difficult to get a crankbait down to that 10-foot zone with how short of casts I had to make, because there's so many docks and all that stuff. And I also wanted something that was weedless. So that's why I ended up fishing this, is because I wanted to be efficient. I wanted to be able to cover water and use a reaction bait, but also be able to work around the cover and get that bait down into the strike zone and keep it there longer. So the single Colorado leaf or Colorado blade spinnerbait. I don't know how many times I said Colorado leaf in this video, but I'm probably going to say it again. But the single Colorado blade really allowed me to you know, catch big fish that were suspended at that 10-foot range, and also fish around brush and things like that. And it creates that nice thump that's really, really important. And another thing that's super important about a single blade is that you can actually yo-yo a spinnerbait that has a single blade. The double blades, you can't really yo-yo a tandem blade spinnerbait all that well. But with a single, when it falls, you know, this bait's fallen and this blade is spinning all the way down, so you can actually yo-yo it. So a lot of times at Grand Lake, what I'd do is I'd cast up to the shoreline or around the dock, let it fall down, and I got several bites doing just that, letting it fall down and have that thing just fluttering all the way down. So that's one thing that a single Colorado blade will do for you, is allow you to yo-yo that bait. But in general, the thump, the vibration, the flash isn't as big of a deal. It doesn't flash like a willow leaf does, so it doesn't have as much flash, but it's all about that thump and that vibration. So if you have dirty water, you have, you know, banks where the fish are suspended off of the bank, you know, maybe even a little bit deeper water, or you got brush piles, you know, and all of those things combined, this is a really, really good blade combination to use, but especially during the pre-spawn. The pre-spawn, the colder months, that's when you want something that's moving a little bit slower. Sometimes during the summer, you know, you go to a place like Lake Eufaula, which I was just at, you know, fishing the brush piles, you might be using a single willow leaf blade in the warmer months because you want more vibration, or not more vibration, but more flash, and you want a bait that moves a little bit faster and gets down a little bit deeper. But for those situations where you've got lower visibility, colder water, this is a really, really good spinnerbait to throw. But anyways, guys, that's why I keep a bunch of different spinnerbait components in a bag in my boat, so I can actually make my own spinnerbait as I go. I can, you know, deconstruct my favorite, you know, sling blades and make it into the perfect spinnerbait for the conditions. But anyways, guys, those are just some thoughts on the single Colorado leaf blade. I said it again. Oh my gosh, it's just so hard for me not to say that naturally, but Colorado blade, the single Colorado blade, will catch them for sure under the right conditions. Anyways, guys, those are just some thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are on that spinnerbait in particular. And if you guys enjoy the content on this channel, there's a few ways that you can support the channel Sonar Fishing. You can, number one, ask questions. I love getting questions because that allows me to create more content. You know, I like doing videos on specific questions that you guys have. So make sure you drop a comment in the question section. If I don't get back to you right away, rest assured, I do read every single comment. So you can do that. You can also use the affiliate links that I have in the description below to purchase the products that I talk about. That one, I'm not sure if 44 Tackle has the sling blades or not, but I'll check. If they do, the affiliate link will be below where you can get 10% off, and it helps support the channel as well. Also, it could be as easy as just hitting that subscribe or like button and sharing these videos to your friends. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video and for all the support. I'm going to see you out on the water. Take care.